everyone, it's Meridy here. I cannot believe I'm here today with my very last layout for the month of August using the Wild and Free kits. This is the 8th process video that I made using these kits, and then I will be back in a couple of days, of course, with my Style Your Scraps video as well, and my wrap-up video. So a couple more videos for the month, but this is the last process video. And what I've got here is just a bunch of the die cuts and stickers and whatnot that I have left from this kit, and my little fabrics, mixed media, some adhesive, foam tape. Alrighty, so I've got my color swatch here, and if you wanted to see how I made that, you can check out my unboxing video for the Wild and Free kits, and I make that on that video. And today I have a lot of photos to scrapbook. I'm thinking this is probably going to be a double page layout. Let me try to get all the pictures out here that I have. This is from last winter. We went up to the mountains by where we live, and the boys were hiking. Oh, can I even read the sign? No. Okay, so my husband took these pictures of the boys on their hike. I did not go on the hike. We were staying in a little cabin up on the mountain, and I stayed back to scrapbook. We sometimes take a little, the last few years we've taken this little trip. The mountains are about 40 minutes from our house, and we try to leave the day after Christmas, but sometimes we end up leaving on the 27th because all the hustle and bustle of the holidays is done and everything is over, and it's kind of sad. So this is something to look forward to. So we go on this little trip up to the cabin. We always hope it's gonna snow. As you could tell in these pictures, there is no snow. There's rarely ever any snow, but you know, we just always hope there will be. And we just relax, and I bring stuff to scrapbook, and my kids bring books and games, but my husband and sons went on a hike while my daughter and I stayed back in the cabin this day. So I have these 7 pictures. These 2 are like identical, nearly identical. So I'm gonna keep this one. I like it better. I really like the sun ray in this one a lot, but I like the background of the trees in that one better. So I will use that one. I like these close-up ones. This is just my son sitting on the porch getting ready to go on the hike. I like these close-up ones because they're close up. And if I'm making a double page layout, I may as well just use all of them. Yeah, because there's a lot of pieces that I pulled out to use on here too. I want to embellish this all up and make it super cute. So I think a double page layout is what I will do. These will represent my journaling. At the end of this layout, or at the end of this video, I'll show you where I put my journaling. Let me pick out a few tags that I think there wasn't really dragonflies at this time of year, but that side of the tag kind of matches. I'm thinking that one matches pretty well. Okay, I'll grab those 2 tags. I guess if I need a 3rd tag, I should use that. And sometimes things look good in groups of 3. But I am not like adamant about always having something in groups of 3. It does look nice, but you know, sometimes if I only want 2 embellishment clusters, so be it. But since this is gonna be a fairly large thing, because since it's a double page layout, I think the 3rd tag will be a good addition and take up some space. So I am just getting these tags trimmed down and hole punched so that when I'm ready to put them on my layout, they will be ready to go. All right, and then I've got all of my scraps from past layouts on here, and there are quite a few scraps. I'm just gonna take them out of the bag so I can access them very easily. I've got black and white cardstock that I pulled from my stash that I used to map pictures on past layouts. I definitely want to use this word explore as the main title of this layout. I'm really excited about that. I obviously don't need Beachcomber, but I might be able to use some other stickers in there. Not too sure about those yet. I have tons of words that I can use on this one. I've got my wood grain paper, which I think will look amazing with these pictures. And then I've got all of these guys, a lot of flowers here. It's winter time, not summertime, so all of these flowers and blooms kind of don't really match with what I've got going on in my pictures. So I might put these off to the side as well. Oh, these are gonna be cute. Handsome, strong. I can use some of these to embellish up my little clusters. I've got white paper to serve as the background for my layout, but I'm not too sure that I'm going to use that for sure because it's just very stark looking. Okay, then I've got my 3 tags that you saw me grab, and then I grabbed a ton of embellishments that I think, whoa, could look cute here. I grabbed a little fox, pine cone, mushroom, the compass, the little deer, some butterflies, an owl, another deer, a little bear, into the woods, wander, some more mushrooms, hello nature, another little die cut mushrooms, and some wood slices. So I think that my embellishment clusters are really gonna be cute when I start using all of these goodies. And then my explore will be my title. Explore the woods, I might write, or explore the forest. Okay. Let me get back to the back of this layout and see how this is gonna work. Okay. Now I could use this because this does represent my picture pretty well, this side of the paper, but I am going to shy away from it and use this wood grain because it's just a little more masculine and it fits better with my pictures. There was lots of strawberries and spring flowers on this side, and my photos are taken in the winter. So, although the trees coordinated really well, the rest, not so much. Okie doke. And then this paper is 9.5 inches tall and 12 inches wide. I need to just decide what to do with it. I wonder if I could kind of make it go off center in my layout and build things around it. Let's see what other little goodies I have. Probably won't use these up here, and then I could use these little scraps. And I like this plaid. I think it can go nicely with my pictures and add a little color in this layout. And I can't really use the back side anyway because it's kind of just, it was that map paper of all the, what are those called? The national parks. I really would like to save this side for some nighttime camping pictures, so I'm not going to use that. This was just one more little scrap of the teal packaging from the Minte Chippies. Okay, these are just little baby scraps that are left. Oh, this tag is really nice too. Maybe I'll trade out one of the other tags for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this tag apart and hole punch it. Okay, now I've got a lot of tags to choose from. And I really do love this navy paper as well. I bet I could put part of it there and trim off this part that I buried. So I'm gonna do that. This paper is 4 inches wide by 6 inches long, and I'm gonna cut off 1 inch. So it's gonna be 3 inches wide by 6 inches long, and then this little piece is 1 inch wide by 6 inches long. I kind of like this navy blue down at the bottom better than up here because it balances out with that heavy blue over there. I don't know where this will go. It kind of depends where my pictures are. I think I can tuck it up underneath. In places. So we'll just save that off to the side for now. Then I'm going to try to lay out my photos. And I think I am definitely going to want to mat these pictures on paper because they are just blending so much into that wood grain. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know, I might want to mat them on like a light blue. This is just our packaging from our die cuts. But maybe this blue isn't gonna match. Let's see, if I had all my little embellishments. No, this is kind of a little, not the right shade. I just got some scraps. That's way too bright. These are just scraps that I had close at hand. Oh, I like the green. That green's a little bright. This blue, that blue would look really nice too. I think I'm gonna stick with this green. It feels like it was a Cardabella paper, solid cardstock. And I just had these off to the side because I had been using them over the past few months. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in order to mat these, I'm going to, let's see. I'm gonna cut this paper into 4-inch by 3-inch rectangles. So I am gonna have to trim down each of my pictures just ever so slightly so that they fit on these 4-inch by 3-inch rectangles. And actually what I'm also going to do is mat them. Before I mat them on the green, I'm going to mat them on a very tiny white mat because I think it will help it pop just a little bit better. So I am cutting the white like 3 7/8 by 2 7/8. So that way it's just a really, really tiny green mat, okay? And then I'm gonna trim my pictures down 1/4 of an inch off of 2 sides of the pictures. So that way my pictures are now, instead of 3 by 4, they're gonna be 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And they are gonna fit just perfectly on this white mat, these white mats that I just cut. Let me show you. I'm gonna do one picture on camera and then I'll do the rest off camera because I know this is not very exciting. So I'll trim 1/4 of an inch off of 2 sides. Now I can mat the picture on the white that I just trimmed. And then right on the green. So now my pictures are double matted, which is fine because this is a double page layout with just a few pictures on it. So I have plenty of room for double matting. And you can see that they're double matted. So I will do that to all of my pictures and I will be right back. Okay guys, now that my pictures are matted and they show up a little bit better, I can try to figure out how I want to arrange them, because I still have no idea. So get them all picked up. I've got landscape and portrait orientations. And obviously there are infinite ways to arrange these pictures on this layout. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick one and stick with it. And I'm not even sure. I'm going to try to kind of come in here with my title at the same time. You know, I'm just gonna put my whole entire title up on foam tape, so that way I can pull it off of here easily, and I can move it around on my layout to change where I want it, because I do not think I want the pictures like I've got them. So I'm gonna get some foam tape on the back of this, and I'm gonna grab all my biggest pieces. So I'm gonna also grab my tags that I wanted to use. And I'm gonna put them and lay them out at the same time I'm trying to lay out my pictures, because there's just a lot of big elements on this page that all deserve equal amounts of attention when I'm planning the layout. And this is why double page layouts take me longer and I struggle more with them, even though for years and years I only would scrapbook in double page layouts. Like, I never made a single page unless it was the first or last page of my album. But I have moved away from that the past maybe 8 years, but probably for 15 years or so, I only wanted to create double page spreads. But they are harder for me. Okay, so I've got my Explore title and my tags, and I really think I only need probably 3 of the tags. Let's see if I can more tag over here, maybe. My seam of my page is also right there. And I just want to kind of keep things balanced across the whole thing. And I don't want to cover up a lot of my pictures with words, because they're I want them to be the star of the show here. I don't like that. It's just too symmetrical for me. I wonder if I can make it look like this blue paper is coming all the way across there, or if it just makes too much distraction with this blue in the paper right here. I know I said I wanted that blue to go down, but if it's covered mostly by the pictures, it just made such a nice shelf down here. I think I like it sticking out down there. It just makes a nice little shelf. These two are too directly across from each other. I don't I don't like that. Okay, I think I'm getting closer here. I don't want to cover up my son in that other picture because he was standing right there. And I think I like the closer up one being on top right there. Okay, I don't like this. Okay, it's coming together better and better. I'm liking it more. I do think that I'm gonna start adhering things to each other. The background is still super white, which I'm not loving right now. But I think I can change that here in a minute. So what I'm gonna do is get both of these groups of paper and pictures on both sides of the page adhered together. And then once I have that, I'm going to slice them in half where the half of the paper runs. And so that way I can lift the whole shebang up off the page, because I think I need to do some stamping or something in the background. It's just very white and plain. So I will be back in just a few minutes when I have all of these goodies adhered to each other, but not to the back of the layout. So I will be back shortly. I think I got it. Let me see what I want to do about these background areas. Maybe just a little bit of mixed media. Okay guys, I went and grabbed an old stamp from an old Not Just for Boys kit that just has like text writing that doesn't really say anything. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of that on the background. I'm first going to use some Scattered Straw Distress Oxide Mist. And then for my stamping, I'm going to use, let me get my little color swatch, the Rustic Wilderness Distress Oxide ink. So let me brush a little bit of this on. I think I'm going to just use the packaging technique here. And I've got this all together as one. So I just want to put a little right here. So I can move that. I think I need to thin this just a tiny bit because it's really going to be dark. So I'll put a little water in there. Okay. And I'll let this dry and work on this side. So on this side, I just want it to be like right in this area. And I did 2 squirts of that and 2 squirts of water, and it seemed to do well. So that is the same ratio that I'm going to keep right now. Okay, and I will let this dry and clean up my stuff right here, and I will be right back. Alrighty, and since I have 0 patience, it's not even quite all the way dry, but I'm gonna come in here and start doing some stamping because that's what I do. So I'm gonna grab my little text stamp. I think this was an old Vicky Bouton stamp or something. You might have gotten this kit. I think it was from a couple summers ago. We put it in one of our page kits. It's been a while though. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of stamp where I think I need this. Ooh, and I'm liking the second generation there too. I kind of like that it was still a little bit wet there. Ooh. Still a little wet there too, that'll be nice. Even the third generation. Okay guys, I don't want to go too crazy with the stamp. Can't even really see that part. Just gonna do a tiny little bit over. And all right, I really like how it kind of bled in the areas that the yellow ink wasn't all the way dry. Like, it looks so cool. I need to keep that in mind to kind of sometimes maybe stamp over watercolor, because it gives a really neat effect. You can't do that if you're gonna have a lot of detail that you want to recognize in your stamped image. But if blending is okay with you, that's a really good idea. I'm gonna try to kind of activate this. Okay, I'm liking that it's like blurring the ink a little. I really like that. I'm going to have to let this dry, but it looks cool to me. I could just spritz onto this, but I think it might just blur all of it then, and I don't really want to blur all of it. I just like little drops to be blurred. I think it looks really neat. I'm gonna let this dry and then I will bring it close to the camera and show you what it looks like, but I'll be right back when it's all dry. Okay guys, here's like a little close-up. Oh, it's still kind of wet, but there's a little close-up and you can see how the ink from the stamp bled a little when I got it wet, but I like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and adhere these two giant pieces down because they are going nowhere else. There is only one place for them to go on this layout. So I'm going to get them adhered so we can start working on other things. Okay, and then I can adhere these down where I want them. And I don't want them all the way on the page. I want them sticking off the page a little. And then I can trim the ends of them off. Okay, so this is the bones of my layout. I like it much better with a little bit of mixed media on it. It just helps keep the back not so stark. Into the woods, I can put here, explore, wander. What did I say I wanted to write? I said something, oh, explore the forest. I can put the wander in another place. I don't really want to cover up any of my picture down here though. Just place them around where I think they should go. So I've got little animals and whatnot and plants. I'm gonna try to evenly put like some mushrooms in each set of embellishments, some animals in each set, some greenery. I've got a couple little wood rounds there. And try to just kind of evenly space this out. Got two little deer. Not sure where I want to put those. I kind of can overlap them. And this compass is weird. Maybe I can like hide that compass so it's just barely peeking out so it doesn't look so odd. And I'm thinking about cutting that big one apart. Let me get scissors and do that. So I can put part of it up there and part of it maybe coming out from the bottom. And this is just like a matter of trial and error with all these different clusters and colors. And embellishments. There's a million ways to style all of these and add them. This little bear is so cute, and so is this little fox. I would really love to use them both. The hard part about this is nothing is adhered down, so it all moves every time I touch anything. He looks like he doesn't belong there. Okay guys, I'm liking how this is coming together. I don't think I need any of these things. Don't really think I need any of these scraps. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these all up. I can see if there are any more little pieces. That I might want to add. I have lots of these. Into the Woods. Okay, I'm gonna put some of these things down, but at the same time I'm putting these down, I'm also going to start adhering some of these clusters because I think I like them how I've got them placed out. So I'm gonna go off camera to do that. I'm going to pop the very top pieces of my clusters up with foam tape just to add a little dimension and interest. So like for instance, this word wander, I'll probably pop up on foam tape from this cluster. So I will be back in a few minutes when I get all these clusters down, and I'm gonna add a few of these words from this sticker sheet as well. So I will be right back. Okay guys, I think I will put my journaling in this area up here. So it will look nice right there. I think I need to add a little of my handy dandy scribbling lines to outline this layout because it looks a little bare around the edges to me. If you were inspired today by this layout, whether it was to recreate this layout exactly how I created it using your Wild and Free kits, or maybe you were just inspired to pull out your Wild and Free kits and work on them, we would love to see whatever you made on our Not Just for Boys Kit Club community Facebook group, and I will link that in the description of this video. If you love my process videos, I would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I make about 8 process videos a month using our current month's kit here at Not Just for Boys. And speaking of, if you like our kits at Not Just for Boys, we have a subscription option. You can subscribe to our kits, and there's some perks to subscribing, such as a discount on your kit. Or you can just go to the website and pick up a kit anytime. If it's on the website, it's available. If it's not, we do not restock our kits. So once a kit is gone, it is gone. But thank you guys so much for watching. And I think this last layout using the Wild and Free kits turned out great. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.